Hello, my dear Taurus. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between June 16 and June 30, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I use the Legacy of the Divine Tarot by Zero Marketing, and I will start shuffling your cards. And I call the Divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Taurus viewers. So I want my dear Taurus to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So, I also want to take the chance to tell you that the Sun in Gemini is going to opposing Saturn, moving retrograde in Sagittarius. So, the day until the Sun moves into Cancer will be fiery with Gemini-Sagittarius combination. The Sun will continue opposing Saturn in Sagittarius when it moves into Cancer. Yes, and there will be this Cancer Sagittarius combination instead, representing the Chariot, 2 opposite forces that needs to be brought together to get your show on the road. Also June 21st we will have the midsummer solstice over the tropical of Cancer. And June 24th we will have the new moon in Cancer joined there with the Sun, Mercury and Mars. Venus will be in Taurus this period. Neptune, Pluto and Saturn is still retrograde, and Jupiter is moving direct in Libra since June 10. For you Taurus especially, Venus in Taurus sextiling the moon and Neptune in Pisces, and also with a sextile to Mars in Cancer. Triangling to Pluto will occur June 19 to the rest of the period, and moon moves through 20 till 21st of June. Okay, so I'll just tune in for a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Taurus, this is your future, and this is your now, and this is the past. So the now is probably the second half of June 2017, but whenever you watch this, it's probably the exact right time to see it. And you can also watch this video several times during the period, and you will probably understand more as time goes by and fill in the blanks for you. So the first card for you is the Magician. Magician is Mercury. And currently we have Mercury in Cancer joined there with the Sun and Mars, so it's a rather fiery combination. We see how the solar system then emblem of the Sun. The Magician is about communication. The Magician is about communicating what you want, also having visions. We people tend to feel that the world is unjust because we don't get the things that we want, but we forget about asking about them. So this is about asking what you want. Start to envision what you want in your life. You can complain all you want about having a cheap boyfriend or a girlfriend sleeping around or whatever is the problem, but if you haven't told universe what you want, I want a partner that's responsible, for example, then this energy isn't out there. So you just get a lot of stuff thrown your way that you are kind of magnetic to because of the frequency that you are on. Maybe you don't think that you deserve better, but you can dream bigger than you think that you deserve. So, and this is a way to expand your opportunities as well. So the Magician is kind of walking on a sharp razor edge between what's really dark and what's really bright. So you can use the Magician, this creative skill, to create whatever. You can create darkness and tragedy in your life, or you can create what you want. It's up to you. Usually we spend the time we spend about thinking of our past or our future, we do so with often a little bit of tragic involved there. But if we can start to envision things like with more hope and more, this is what I want, then it's also more likely that you actually will get this, what you want. A magician is anyway a creator, an author of the future, a visionary person, a person being able to see something that's still not really there. So this is an opportunity for you. For some of you watching in early June, this will be happening now. Here we have a Two of Swords. So while the magician is communication and vision, the Two of Swords is a wish to not communicate and to not have visions. With the Two of Swords, we have put a mask on ourselves and blindfold ourselves because we don't want to have hope, and we don't want to touch those feelings of hope inside of us, because while they are awake, when they finally are awake, they can tend to be hard to shut up. But this is because you don't really grasp this sense of how to create things. You're supposed to create things, like envision things. Oh, this and this and this I want. It's almost like, yes, just dreaming your future casually, and you're not supposed to attach to one of those objects. You're supposed to keep on dreaming, keep on visioning, and see what comes back to you. But here you get a little bit attached to what you want, so you don't even dare to open your eyes and see if you are fooling yourself or this was an illusion, because you're afraid to get your hopes up. So you rather don't see anything, and you keep yourself in a rather stale position, like a position of logic in one way, because you don't want to fool yourself with fairy tales of a beautiful outcome for your situation. You want to keep yourself leveled without hope, so you don't have to be disappointed when these things that you really, really want doesn't come to you. This is actually kind of destroying your capacity of creating things in your life. It's blocking your creativity. It's blocking your progress, this anticipation, and also this fear of the future, and the fear of your own feelings first and foremost. What is the big deal with becoming disappointed? Can't you handle it? What would happen? Would you die on the spot? Or would you maybe fall into a depression? If you did, if you got depressed, if you feel sad, what's the big deal? It's just frequencies, it's just energies. And what we give attention to, our attention is light. So when we bring in light into a dark spot, for example, our sense of hopelessness or giving up or there's no idea, when we just feel that feeling, stay with it, we actually heal it, and we bring in light in a very dark closet. So you don't have to fear your feelings. You don't have to keep yourself on a balanced level. You can dream. It's allowed to dream, and you will be able to deal with whatever comes back to you. And you will be able to say, no, this was not exactly what I wanted. I want kind of this, but more of that. So here we have the Tower. The Tower always comes when we have taken kind of the wrong direction. Our compass is not aiming towards true north anymore. We have got a little bit lost. This can happen when we, for example, are staying at a workplace which are giving us a good income, but is kind of killing our spirit, or we don't like to be there, or we are aimed for something else. Then Tower comes. You might be sacked, or you might find the environment at the workplace suddenly hostile. Maybe people are doing things to kind of make you quit, and they are actually the messengers of the divine, trying to say to you, see here, you don't like this place, you need to get out of here. So the Tower is here with the Two of Swords. You didn't want to realize that we are all living on a house of cards. Things that we have in our lives and we take them for granted, they can be swooped away just like that. Our lives is the same. We are just merely here for a split second in the history of Earth or in the universe. We are here to experience. It's kind of life coming and going. It's like a dance. So we are not here to grasp anything or to try to stay leveled. We are here to experience. We are here to dream. We are here to envision. We are here to create. We are here to do mistakes. We are here to face challenges. We are here to do a lot of beautiful things. To try to keep this house of house of art. House is neighborhood, is the neighborhood of God, but we are not here to try to keep this house of cards from falling. Let it fall if that is what it wants to do. You can't control things here. You're a creator. You're supposed to create opportunities, and you're supposed to be challenged when you are creating these, and you're supposed to grow in this. Like doing mistakes, try again. You get more experience, you know more, you try in another way, you get it better, and this is how you're supposed to do. But you're also always supposed to remember that you don't control anything. You can do your best in every situation. Try your best, do the best thing that you possibly can from your level of consciousness. There's not so much more you can do. Then there's other people, and we can't control other people. We can tell them what we want. We can communicate. With this, it can be a lack of communication that actually is destroying this thing that you might think is very precious. Not telling the truth can be one thing here. But we are merely here to experience things and to create things and to dream forth new things and see what we like and what we dislike, and being aware of this. We can't be awake and aware if we try to hide what we don't like. If we try to, well, that never happened to me. It's actually never happened. Then it will happen again and again and again and again, because everything you resist will persist. So don't resist things. See the reality as it is. And if you see the reality, you're also it's much more likely that you're actually going to take a good decision to take you out of that situation which you don't like. Here you have a Sagittarius energy. It's a Knight of Wands. It's borderline to Scorpio. So this is very fiery. It's not very Taurus-like at all. But of course, your foundation here have fallen. And the Knight of Wands is the perfect candidate to build something new, because the Knight of Wands is not settling for second best. The Knight of Wands is scoping the world for options, seeing what kind of draws him in, what kind of makes him feel like full of life and adventurous and happy. He is going to seek for the next adventure or the next call, like he has a calling, he feels the longing. And the Knight of Wands is not one to stay in the same place. So he can, when he grows up, to become kind of a Queen of Wands or a King of Wands. But in this state, he is this person, wherever I lay my hat is my home kind of person, because he's searching, he's very idealistic. He wants to be here and fulfill his mission. He doesn't want to miss out. He doesn't want to do the same things that everyone else's do and end up with the same thing that everyone else's have. He wants to see more. He's kind of a little bit of a new soul here. Haven't really seen it all just yet. Many other people might have been here for a long time and they well, I have already seen that. But this is much more curious energy, especially together with the Magician. And here you have a Queen of Swords, so that's twice Libra you have right now. So these energies is more compatible. So I think this is two different people or two different opinions or two different roads you can take. This one is more leveled, doesn't want to kind of say hey before they really got the thing. This energy is much more a go-getter. I will have this what I want and I won't stop until I have this. So it might be a little bit of a clash of titans here, and this might be why the tower is falling. It might be two different people having two different opinions. One wants to take things more slow, calculate things, have more information before they make a decision. The other energy is more adventurous and don't see like the problem with just jumping and just doing the thing. The Two of Swords is actually the challenge to act exactly like the Knight of Swords. It's a challenge to actually be fearless enough to jump over that edge and jump safely over to the other mountain and to get some broader view. But since the Queen of Swords comes here again, I think there needs to be some kind of compromise, because the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Wands, they are not like the best friends. The Queen of Swords is probably judging the Knight of Wands rather fiercely. She might not tell, but she does. She thinks that, oh God, this person is going to end up in trouble and I'm going to just be here and see this happen. But in the same time, this person is going to have a lot of experience, a lot of things to tell their grandchildren, while this person can tell, well, I was viewing other people making a lot of mistakes and I didn't do any one of them. That might put your grandchildren to sleep, actually. So that was in the past. Some kind of conflict, some kind of decision needs to be made. Maybe you are getting a chance of a lifetime and you are very likely to turn this down because you like with the place where you are at. But in the same time, the divine is here and saying that this, what you really like, might not be there anymore if you don't take this chance now. So it might be gone. You might not have anymore this what you had in the past. And it's also like you have asked for this. It's like you have asked for this opportunity, and now when you have it, it doesn't seem that wonderful anymore, and you are kind of longing back to a more secure environment. But maybe you should really try this out, maybe give it a chance, even though you have gotten a little bit of cold feet. The next card here underneath the Magician is a Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups is an opportunity being given to you. It's those knights again. They are very, very hopeful and dreamy. Knight of Wands together with Magician might be a person I wouldn't trust fully. So the Queen of Swords has a foundation for her judgment. I won't question that, but still it's a much more alive energy. But I wouldn't trust like whomever came and say, I want to take you on an adventure. I would say, okay, we can go on an adventure, but I have I'm not going to put up with this and this and this. I have some rules and boundaries to tag along. So it will be your adventure too, not just you tagging along on another person's scary adventure that actually isn't feeling good at all. But here with the Knight of Cups, that's a little bit of a milder energy. This is usually Pisces. It can be Cancer. It can be Scorpio as well. Knight of Cups is emotions. It's like a person that's very romantic and also on the search for the Holy Grail, much like the Knight of Wands. But the Knight of Wands has no clue of what's going to bring this to him. He's very expansive. He wants to try as many possibilities as possible, while the Knight of Cups have kind of an idea what he dreams of, and it comes underneath the Magician. So it's someone with a romantic dream here, someone that wants to. It might be someone courting you. It might be a summer flirt. It might be an offering of some sort. It's a little bit young, so you can't really trust it fully. You need to examine this more closely, of course. But you have two knights and Two of Swords, so maybe you have to make a decision between two people. That might be it as well. And underneath this decision, Two of Swords, and is trying to make maybe a decision that's very logical and not so grounded in feelings. You have a Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is a suppression. It's something that you want to say or do, or something that you want to express in some way, but you are holding it back because you don't think it's fitting. You're trying to follow human laws when actually a soul energy is wanting to pass through you, like instinct, intuition, things just happening, like the devil and the angel in your shoulder want to communicate through you, and you are saying no to all this because you're a little bit stuck in the old and in the human way of doing things. Like you shouldn't just jump and do things. The Ten of Wands might indicate a movement. It might indicate that you need to move or relocate or change work, or maybe choose between fight or flight. It's the moving away card, and it's always difficult to move. All the furniture needs to be transported. You will most likely feel like this the days after that move. But it's a person fighting. It's like you have decided upon something. Maybe you decided upon something logical here, or maybe you were dragged along by this Sagittarius energy against your better knowing. And now you're just kind of holding your breath and see what this will lead to for you. Maybe you will have problems sleeping. Maybe you need to hold someone tight during the night to just survive this transition. For some of you, you really need to take it slow. Ten of Wands is, you can see this on this person, they are very exhausted. And when you are this exhausted, or when your body are this exhausted, you are very likely to catch a cold, or your synchronicity will get you to slow down if you don't. It's kind of the tower all over. If you are pushing your body over its limits, something will happen. You will spray your ankle or something else, so you won't be able to do all those things you planned because you planned too much. And if you would have followed through with those plans, it would have been even worse for you. So you are in a body. You are not just a soul being kind of swooping around fixing things on the energetic level. You have a body, and it needs to survive whatever you think of doing. So you might have really high standards of what you want to accomplish, or the person you want to be, or how you want other people to look at you. So you might be putting too much pressure onto you, or taking too much responsibility. What are you trying to prove here? Who is going to love you more just because you are doing all those stuff? Here is an Eight of Cups. So Eight of Cups underneath the tower is kind of saying that enough is enough. Even if you want to continue giving and doing those things that makes you so lovable, makes you so responsible, makes you such a good team player, you are not going to have the energy to do it anymore. And maybe that's what this adventure is all about. Maybe your life is calling you to do something that's more fun and not so responsible, something that's more you. We have a Pisces again. It's kind of flanking this Ten of Wands. So while you are here restraining yourself, or working too hard, or doing too many things, or multitasking, or taking a lot of responsibility, or having a lot of things that you really need to do and they can't wait, you have this Pisces energy here. It's a longing for something else. It's like your soul just wants to leave this struggle and do something else, face your own destiny. And I think you need to do this. In other case, it will happen something. It's like the tower is from small whispers to a blow to your head. So the whispers is much mild to follow. If you follow when there's whispers, and you follow those road signs, things will go more smoothly. Yes, of course, you will have a vacation, or if you have flipped with your car and broke a leg, then yes, there will be a vacation. You won't be able to take responsibility anymore, and that might be exactly what you need to push yourself into to letting go of things that's actually not really necessary. The graveyard is full of people that thought they were like, if they didn't do the things, nothing would be done. It's a good thing to ponder upon when you think that you are like the central sun that needs to get everything going. With Eight of Cups, it's like you have filled things with all your energy, and it's not really giving you the thing that you need. And here you are facing kind of yourself. What do you want? Why is the reason you are here? It's not for running around breaking your spirit. It's probably much more fun. And we can see here with the Two of Swords, you didn't want to look at the moon, and here you're kind of forced to face it because maybe your body is is limiting you. So you have to stay put, and you have to start looking at yourself and your own emotions and the meaning of life and what you want to do really, instead of being this efficient or Seven of Swords comes underneath this Sagittarius energy. Yes, Knight of Wands together with the Seven of Swords is bad news. This is a person like coming and going. So if you have a love affair of some sort, don't trust people around you. If you see like small signs that they might not be the most trustworthy person in the world, you should really listen to this. In other case, this could be a person that doesn't have such a great self-esteem. So they think maybe they need to tell you things and lie to your face to make themselves look better. That's the milder case of this combination, that people don't like who they are. They want to be more. It might be wanting a lot of adventure, but haven't really been on so many. So they might brag a lot, but that's not really any substance to it. And it's the same if they come a passionate knight riding here on a white horse to you. They are not everything that they seem. So I think you are tested again, because you are not listening to your body. You are not listening to your soul. At least maybe you can listen at your own warning system. That's a way to start, because this is something that you are good on, having a clear judgment and maybe knowing when people are not everything they are cracked up to be. So you can start there. That's one way. It's one ticket into trusting yourself and starting to listen to yourself. When you start to listen to this, maybe then you can start to listen to your body, and then you can start to listen to other of your systems. You have your emotions, your thoughts, your experience from the past, your future dreams. But it seems like logic has been the ruling thing for you right now, and you want something more. But maybe this logic to be able to detect when people are phony, or when things are too good to be true, is one way for you to start trusting yourself. And then we can expand with you actually listening to the reason to why you're here, and forgetting all this with just working. It's really deeply buried, this. Here you have your thoughts, here you have your feelings. Both your thoughts and your feelings are your guiding posts. But here you are totally confused. You don't know. Your thoughts are kind of split. They say so many different things. Your feelings are all over the place, so you can't really rely on them either. But this is a passage. It's a 7, 7. Sevens are always spiritual challenges. You are challenged to see something about yourself. You are challenged to become aware about what you are thinking, what you are feeling. So I would wish you to take some time alone to get away from all those shores, become a little bit more of a daydreamer, and stay inside of yourself. Give yourself this time. It's needed, and it's very precious. Maybe your dish will still be there the next day, or your bills as well, even though if the amount of debt might have been heightening. Try to write down all your thoughts. feel in all your feelings. Maybe write them down as well and see where you're at. You have the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Swords to help you. The Knight of Wands knows what you want to create in your life. The Queen of Swords can make a very fair and just judgment call, and she's also very aware. She has wings coming out of her ears, so she's rather awake, even though she's kind of a little bit of a background figure. She knows a lot of stuff. Females knowing a lot of stuff know that they tend to be put in the like being a bitch. So she might know a lot of stuff, but she don't really say it. But you can use this to get this awareness of this challenge here. It's I'm feeling a heaviness. It's like everything is going like round and round in the same circle. You end up in the same place where you were before. You felt a little morning breeze here. Something new was happening, some dream. But then you just feel exhausted and you are back in this square one. So the square one is probably where you're supposed to be. Look at what the square one contains. What kind of thoughts, what kind of feelings. This is what you need to see truthfully. You can't block this out. It won't go away with you just not pretending it's not being there. So you need to face this, and this will actually crystallize into actual road signs, an actual new direction of your compass. You are going to know after you have dealt with this and stayed with this and sorted this out. Just be with it, just give it your attention and light is enough, and a road out of there will crystallize, because things that you didn't want to see or you have blocked out, that was too terrible, or you didn't want this to be true. If you can face this truth, then you know in what kind of problem you are, and you will be able to take a very logical decision to take you out of there, and also being able to fulfill your dreams. So it's only a win-win situation, and this is not going to go away just because you're closing your eyes. It's still there. It's inside of you. It's old assumption. It's old ways of looking at yourself. It's old way of feeling about different situations. So underneath the Magician and the Knight of Cups, you have an Ace of Cups, the Holy Grail. This is what we are aiming to. We want to the Holy Grail, like the purpose of your life, and to be able to go on the road that will lead to happiness and fulfillment. And this is also you kind of cleaning your telepathic system through your emotions. Your emotions are a very keen system. It's very delicate. It's very, you just need to calibrate it so it won't give you like mixed message anymore. And one signal is, of course, to trust your own instinct for what is truth and what is false. Of course, you need to compromise, and you can't step all over people, but you can at least trust yourself that what you believe in a situation is probably truth for you, and then try to communicate this to the other party in a way that they can understand. Use calm words. So, and here we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is actually, we have the Two of Swords here, you not wanting to listen to the moon. 10 of Wands, you don't want to listen to your soul. If you are able to listen to your moon and your soul, you will become the High Priestess. That's very nice. The High Priestess doesn't doubt herself. She loves herself, and she knows herself to be a spiritual messenger on earth. She knows herself to be a spirit in a human body. She doesn't think that there's any like spooky or craziness with that. She's just clear about it, and she doesn't question it. She's totally immersed in the water here of the Ace of Cups, so she listens to her intuitions. She is totally immersed in her soul, the 10 of Wands. The soul has gone down in her body. She's not refusing it anymore. Whatever the angel or devil says on her shoulder, she will express it. In my encounter with the High Priestess, she's very moody. She can slap you in the face and braid your hair in the next second. So she's very like, listen to the angel and the devil, like very much like so. That can be a problem if you are this It's almost resembling some kind of illness, but this is actually when you're very in tune with the divine, you will be like this. You will change with whatever the situation brings to you, and you will react on it very instinctually and very intuitive. So her soul has gone down in her body. She sees the past. It's her past. It's information. She can go there and visit and see, like, well, this I did the last time, it didn't work, I will do another thing this time. This is her visions, you know, the magician. She visions things. And there's many seeds in a pomegranate, so she just visions new things all the time. She's here to create our tomorrow together with this visionary skill. So she's there and visiting the future as well, but she's always here and now. She has the Taurus symbol in her forehead, very grounded in her here and now. This is her thoughts. Your thoughts at the time is you don't trust them. You think them to be criminals. Your feelings, you don't trust them either. They always want to drag you down in some primordial swamp. But if you can clean those tentacles, be with them, listen to those messages, you will be like the high priestess. You are not far from there. It's like if you're just being able to stay with the truth of things, the true nature of your thoughts and your feelings, you will calibrate this energy really quickly and become the high priestess. And being able to listen to the moon that you have in so many cards and apparently are not listening to at all. The moon, you can go to bed one night feeling perfectly fine. Next morning you will wake up with anxiety. That's because the moon is pulling your waters. A message wants to come true. Stay with those feelings. See what will come up. Also, you can ask, I feel this feeling. I want to know what it means. And maybe during the day you will get some sign. This is actually a beautiful step of your evolution. Everything is now intact. You have now put together all the connection that you need with ground control to your thoughts, your feelings, your soul, the Akasha Chronicles and the visions for the future, human evolution, and you're in contact with your subconscious as well. So it seems pretty. And here you have the Ace of Swords. So that's much better, yes? Seven of Swords, feeling like you don't belong, feeling like everything you do becomes wrong. You are too late, too old, too young. Everything with you is wrong. You can't really fit in, and you're trying to fake like an exterior that you think people will like. And here you're not faking anything anymore. You're just being bluntly you and feeling exactly what you feel. This is also an image of the high priestess, her thoughts and her feelings. So everything is on the right place. You start to trust yourself. I think the distrust of yourself is what's making you a little bit crippled here, making you a little bit stuck. It's just you. No one else is keeping you in this state. No one else is having the whip and telling you to work harder, do more. It's you still. Your willingness to be loved and do the right thing has kind of distorted your vision of the world, and you have forgotten that you are the highest authority in your life. But you will remember here, so that's good news. And here we have the Hermit as well. So Knight of Wands together with the Seven of Swords and the Hermit might indicate some very loner person in your life, but it might indicate that you need a lot of loneliness and a lot of alone time, because it seems like you're going through some profound awakening here. You're calibrating all your systems. You don't have time with maybe other people. Maybe you need to be a little bit self-centered here. Still, it can be for some of you some kind of player person that doesn't really want a relationship. They want to be single. So still keep out. If you are watching for a love reading and want to see if some person is sincere with you, there's a person in your life that's probably trying to show you that you are allowed to look out for yourself and take care of yourself and do whatever fits you. So they are just a mirroring of this. They are not here to hurt you or play you. They are just here to tell you that it's allowed to listen to yourself and do whatever the heck you want, but be honest about it. tell people like this is my aim. I need to have a lot of alone time here, a lot of alone time, because I'm going through some stuff here. And here you have a Three of Coins. And it's like you're slowly building on a new foundation here. But you need to be very honest. It's like maybe you are not telling the truth about things. And then the things that will be created won't either be exactly what you want. You need to be very truthful of what you want. You can't tell, like if you just met a guy and you say, well, oh no, I don't want to commit a love relationship and I never want to be married, and secretly you have wedding magazines underneath your bed, that's a problem. You need to be very honest with what you want. Don't let your bad self-esteem get in the way of your actual dream. Just because you think that I will never have this, what I'm dreaming about, this is a sure way to not get it. You need to be very clear about what you like and what you don't like, what you want and what's your true mission, what should really make you happy, because what makes you happy makes the universe happy. What you want, universe wants. So you're just a spokesperson for this energy that you are dealing with here in your life, that you can aim in any direction that you want. So don't be false about this. If you want to build a new foundation, do it upon truth. Don't disregard yourself. Don't disregard your dreams. Dream truthfully. No bad compromises that you are doing just for the sake of being loved. That's not a good way to build a new foundation. Then it will be just another tower. But the Three of Coins is a good card. It tells, like, if you are able to be truthful here and see the truth in the eye and feel your true feelings about everything, and just take it. This is self-insight, getting to know oneself. Then you can build on this a new foundation for yourself that will be much more true. And when things are true, you're also going to start to be magnetic to the things that you actually want, and not to some false compromise of what you want. So for Taurus, this is from Oracle of Visions by Ciro Marchetti, and you have this card. For me, it seems like time is crucial. You have this life, and you're supposed to live it fully and try to get such a happy life as possible. Responsibility might not make you happy. Try to really find out what's making you happy. It doesn't, you don't have to accomplish so much. Try to figure out what's really making you happy. And because waste of time can also be waste of time with doing things that you think you need to do, but actually it's a waste of time. So remember this. What's a full life for you? You have this precious amount of time here. You see it's sliding through her fingers, and you don't want to waste it on things that actually doesn't make you happy. And again, I'm emphasizing this. It doesn't mean that you can sit for days and hours or long time anyway, whatever suits you. Just sit and do nothing. This isn't a waste of time if it makes you happy, okay? So I will actually read this card for you, because I haven't read so much of these cards just yet. So I'm learning as I'm going here. 14. Time, life. Time is a figure 8. At its center, the city of deja vu. Time is a commodity that it's never really ours, but merely something we have use of for a given period. The only way to ensure the balance in our favor is for us to use our allotted time fully before it's taken from us. Live every day, hour and minute to the fullest. And no stress. You see, this girl isn't stressed. She is using her days maybe to read good books, to talk with her friends, you know, things that you will actually remember in your olden days. Not, I went to work, I turned a lot of papers, I took the subway home, and I did the same thing next day. That's not a fulfilling life. How would you spend your retirement? What would be the most happy thing? Maybe you could do this before you retire. and then you think, what about money? Well, money is in abundance, and it's kind of a mark about how much you love yourself. So that's passive income, and that's active income. And here we have the food and hunger card. Food and hunger is that you think that there's scarcity and there's not enough for everyone. And when you think this is also what you create. You create a world where you need to work very hard, almost so you are going on your knees. And this is actually not making you happy. So Taurus, we need to work because, or do things that's, we want to create, especially Taurus people want to create things, but you don't want to create things like a slave. You want to create things out of your soul. That's a big difference. Try to meditate a little bit on this difference. What's the difference between a clothing that has been made from someone's soul and vibrating creativity, or for someone being a slave in a factory somewhere in China? That's a big difference. Okay, my dear Taurus, I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care, and I'm very grateful for all of you liking, watching, subscribing, and commenting very, very beautiful to my videos. I'm very grateful for your the energy vibration that you give to this channel. So thank you, and I hope to see you again in the beginning of July. Okay, bye bye.